What's up, YouTube? I haven't been on here in a long time. Um, I just want to give a little story time because me and my friend were just talking about, dangerous situations or whatever. She has a 13-year-old daughter. She's about to be 13 actually, and who's also my goddaughter. And we work together, my friend and I, and she was just kind of giving me, she said her and her daughter were walking from the park yesterday and they were walking past a couple of alleys, and it just dawned on her like, oh, I need to let my daughter know, situations in regards to alleys, if you ever walking home from anywhere, and you're in the alley. I mean, you walk past the alley, it doesn't really feel right to you to either cross the street or walk in the street, so to protect yourself or whatever. So I'm like, oh, so I'm listening to the story. I'm like, I'm glad you just said that, because actually when I was her age, situations similar happened to me. Me and my homegirl, when we would hang out, we lived close to each other, so we would walk each other halfway home. And when we would reach out, if we walking and talking, so if we walking and talking too much and we pass our halfway point, we would walk each other back to the halfway point, and then just go home from there. So this particular time, we were walking to the halfway point and talk past our halfway point. So she ended up walking me back towards the halfway point, and we saw a car full of guys that just kept on driving around in circles. And I want to say it was, well, I don't want to say but it was literally 5 guys in the car, and 2 in the front, 3 in the back. So the guys had the windows rolled down and was looking at us, but we were walking on a one-way street that they couldn't drive down. So they circled the block again. Just so happened that I was walking back home. So I saw the car again. I'm a block away from my house at this point. And this car full of men drove into someone's driveway, and all of them started to hop out of the car. So when I noticed it, I was like maybe 2 houses from when they were getting out the car. I crossed the street because I knew that they didn't live at the house, because this is where I live. It was a block away from my house, so I know the person's house. I know whose house it was that they pulled into the driveway, so I knew that none of them lived there. And the person didn't, I basically, I knew the people that lived in the house. So I knew that that car and those men did not belong there. So I crossed the street, and they was like, looking like they really wanted to come out and get me. So I started running, and they got back in the car and drove around the corner, because where I lived was all one-way streets. So you couldn't really bust a U-turn on me without getting into a car accident. So by the time I got to my house, I looked in the corner, and the car full of guys was there at the corner of my block, looking like, damn, because where I was on a one-way street, so they couldn't come up the block and get me. And I was like, yo, ain't that crazy? All right.